Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome back to Easy Mathematics. Today we want to look at the final part in the last year BEC 2022. So we want to look at question 5 and 6. Question 6 is about graph. So we'll see how we are going to do that one. We have number 5 here. So let's look at number 5. We have 5a. Factorize this given expression. We have to factorize the given expression, which has been given as bracket of x minus y, bracket of 3m plus n minus x minus y, bracket of m minus 2n. Now, to factorize means to make it simple, or to also make it very simple. We have the 5a, so we are looking at the 5a. You have to factorize this expression. Now, when you look at the left side of the negative sign and the right side of the negative sign, you will see that two of the brackets are the same. This and this are the same. So we are going to get rid of one because we have to factorize. So I'm going to get rid of this bracket. And what am I left with? I'm left with bracket of x minus y, bracket of 3m plus n, bracket of minus m plus 2n, minus 2n. So this negative will multiply everything here so that we can deal with these two brackets. So we have x minus y, bracket of 3m plus n, bracket. This multiplies this, you have negative m. This multiplies this, you have positive 2n. So we can therefore take rid of this bracket to have this in a bracket. We are factorizing. So since this and this are equal, we are going to get rid of one to make the solution easy for us. So we've gotten rid of this one. So now we have this minus this bracket. So we have to expand this bracket so that we get rid of all the common ones there, we group them together. So we have bracket of x minus y. Then we group like this. We have 3m minus m, then plus n plus 2n. So we have the first as x minus y. Bracket of 3m minus m will give you 2n. Then you have n plus 2n, which is going to give you 3n. So to factorize the number 5a, we are going to get x minus y, bracket of 2m plus 3n. So this is what we were supposed to do for the 5a. Then the 5b is a vector. Given that p is equal to this vector, q is equal to this vector, and p minus q is equal to 6, 8. Find the value of x plus y. Now, last 2 years, there was a question on vectors. Last year too, there was a question on vectors. Then it means this year too, there will also be a question on vectors if candidates were unable to answer this question. So let's look at how we are going to answer or tackle the question. We have been given p as the vector 2 minus 3x, 5 minus 2y, and we've been given q as negative 1, 5. We've been given q as negative 1, 5. Now we have to find x plus y. But to find x plus y, we have been given, or it has been stated that p minus q is equal to 6, 8. So with this equation, we will be able to solve for x and y. So p has been given as this. So we are going to write the p as 2 minus 3x, 5 minus 2y as a vector, minus q. Q has been given as negative 1, 5, which is equal to 6, 8, which is equality of vectors. Now what do? We are going to pick this component minus this component and equate it to this component. When we're doing vectors, we were told that the first component is the x component and the second component is the y component. So this minus this equate it to this one. So let's take the first one. We have 2 minus 3x, then negative gives you positive. So plus 1 is equal to 6. Then you solve to get your x. So grouping like terms here will give me negative 3x plus 3 is equal to 6. Well, from the plus 3, you have 2 plus 1 giving you 3. Group like terms, you have negative 3x is equal to 6 minus 3. You have negative 3x is equal to, subtracting will give you 3. What do we want? We want x. So we divide by negative 3. We divide by negative 3. So negative 3 will cancel negative 3, giving you x is equal to, then then 3 will cancel itself, 1, giving you negative 1 as your answer. So solving for x here, we had negative 1. Then we also do same for y. But this time we are going to pick this minus this is equal to this. Because this is the y component, y component, y component. So what do we have here? We have 5 minus 2y. Then minus and positive will give you minus. So we have minus 5, which is equal to 8. Now you have 5 minus 5, which is going to give you 0. So we say the negative and the positive 5 will cancel out, giving you negative 2 is equal to 8. What do we want? We want y. So divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. This will cancel out this. You have y is equal to 2 here 1, 2 here 4, negative 4. So this has helped us to get the x value and the y value because they are equal vectors. So we have been told that p minus q is equal to this, which is equality of vectors. So we have x is negative 1, we have y is negative 4. What did the question ask us to do? We were asked to find the value of x plus y. So if x is negative 1 and y is negative 4, then x plus y is going to give us negative 1, which is the x value, plus y, which is negative 4. So let's put it in a bracket. When negative and positive meet, we are going to get negative 1 minus 4, which is going to give you 5. So therefore, x plus y, which has been given, is equal to negative 5. Because negative 1 minus 1 gives you negative 5. And this is what you have for your answer. So this is what you were supposed to do for B. Now let's look at the last part, the C. You have find the truth set of x minus 1 all over 2 less or equal to 1 over 2 plus x. Now this is linear inequality. Linear inequality because of the sign that has been given here. It is the same as you solving for linear equations. Now you see that the question has been given in a fraction form. So what do? Find the LCM. This x is also over 1. So how can I get the LCM? Now you can see that with this question, the denominators are values or numbers. So to find the LCM is going to be more easier than expected. So what will be the LCM? Looking at the denominators is going to be 2. So we are going to say LCM is equal to 2. Now that we have our LCM, how many terms do we have in the equation? We have this as 1 term, 2 term, 3 term. So we have 3 terms, 2 terms, 3 terms. So in all, we have 3 terms. Multiply each terms by the LCM. So what do we have? We have this x plus 1 over 2 times the LCM, 2, less or equal to 1 over 2 times the LCM, 2, plus x times the LCM, 2. So these 2 will cancel out these 2. Then these 2 will also cancel out this 2. Good. We have the sign here as minus. Okay. Sorry for interchanging my negative with a positive. So now then, denominator here has been cancelled using the LCM. So what do we have? We have x minus 1 less or equal to. This denominator has also been cancelled out by the LCM. What do we have? 1. Then we have plus x times 2 giving you 2x. From here, what do? It is just like you solving for an equation, group-like terms. So let all the numbers with the x be at one side of the given sign, and all those without LCM, all those without variable, which is the x, at the other side. So we have x. This is positive 2x. When it crosses this sign, it's going to be negative 2x. Just as when it crosses the equal to sign, it changes. The same thing when it also crosses either the less than or the greater than sign, it also changes. So we have 1 here which has not moved, but this 1 is moving to this side, which is giving you positive 1. Now the coefficient of x here is 1. Since it has not been written, is 1. So what is 1 minus 2? You have negative 1x, which is less or equal to 2. But to show maturity, we don't write the negative, the 1. We assume the 1 is spiritual, but there is 1 there. So here we have negative x less or equal to 2. But remember that we are solving for x, not negative x. So we have to divide both sides by negative 1 so that we get rid of the what? Of the negative in front of x. So I'm going to divide this by negative 1 and also divide this by negative 1. Now let's note something here. Look at how the signs are. You can see how the signs are. Now the moment we divide the inequality using a negative, the sign we keep on using will take the opposite of it. So this is less or equal to. Because we divided with a negative, it's going to be greater or equal to. So negative will cancel negative. You have x is now greater or equal to negative 2. Now what did the question say? The question said find the truth set. If you were to find the value of x, then we will say therefore x is equal to negative 2. But we have been asked to find the truth set. So we state our answer in a set form. So we will say therefore the truth set is in a set form x is such that x is greater or equal to negative 2. And this is the truth set of x, just as we are to solve for x. Then the IR, illustrate the answer on the number line. On the number line. So for me to do the II, what do I need? I need my number line. So first of all, draw your number line. Any length is at the middle of the number line, we know that we have our origin O. Now, from at O, all the numbers on your right, are positive. And all the numbers on the left of O are negative. So what do? You have 1, 2. Look at the number you have for x to get a value on the number line. Then we have 1, 2. So this is 1, this is 2. This is negative 1, this is negative 2. So what is x? X is greater or less than -2. So on the number line, locate -2. So we draw a circle. Now, because this is less or equal to, we are going to shade the circle. Then we draw a bar for it, or an arrow. But how can you use the arrow? How can we get the arrow? Look at the shape of what you have. You can see that the greater than sign uses the right hand. And if you stretch the right hand, you move towards the what? The right. So also, we are going to move towards the what? The right direction. And we'll write here, X is greater or equal to -2. So this was expected from us when we were answering or solving the question 4. I think among all the questions we've solved, the question 4 is the cheapest among all. The question 5 is the cheapest among all. And this is what is expected from us. Now let's look at the question 6, the last question. For the factorization, we'll come back again and we'll treat it as a whole topic on its own. Then we'll look at it. So now let's look at question 6. What students were expecting, or they were expected by the examiners or by WAEC to answer. Let's look at the graph, what we have. Okay, so we have the question 6, which was given as copy and complete the table for the relation y is equal to 5 minus 2x for this, and this has been drawn on the table with the values in it. So looking at the table, it says AB using a scale of 2 centimeters to 1 unit. Now, before you even tackle the graph itself, look at the given table. This should tell you that there are missing values and you have to copy and complete the table. So what do? You need your instrument, your pencil, your rule, your eraser, and probably your pen. So solution, we have A. We have to copy and complete the table. So what do? You have to redraw the table in your answer booklet, because you have to copy and complete. And it means redraw the table, then this time you complete. So we have -3, we have -2, we have -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and finally we have 4. So let's close the table just as it has been given. Okay, so already we have been given 11 under -3, we have been given 5 under 0, we have been given 1, we have already been given this. So we have to copy and complete. Now, before we can complete this table, we have to know the rule that has been given for us to work with. So it says that copy and complete the table for the relation y is equal to 5 minus 2x. So we are going to use y is equal to 5 minus 2x to complete the table. Now the x here stands or represents each of the x values here, and the y is what we have and what we are going to solve for. So let's take the first one that has not been given, which is -2. So wherever we see x in this relation, we substitute it with -2. So we have y is equal to 5 minus 2. X is what? -2. So we are going to say y is equal to 5, -2 times -2. Negative times negative is positive. So we have plus. Then 2 times 2 is 4. So y is equal to 9. Now this 9, we record it here and circle it. Why do we have to circle it? We circle it to show that we solved for the 9. Then we go to the next one. The same relation that has been given. You have been given y is equal to 5 minus 2x. Remember that 2x means 2 times x. So this time, what is x? X is negative 1. We substitute it there. Then we say y is equal to 5, negative times negative, positive. Then we have 2 because 2, 1, 2. So we have y is equal to 7. So we record 7, we circle 7. Then we go to the next one. The same relation. Y is equal to 5 minus 2 times x. But this time, what is x? X is 1. So we have y is equal to 5. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Y is equal to 3. So we write 3, we circle it. Then we come to the next one. The same relation. Y is equal to 5 minus 2 bracket of x. This time what is x? 3. So y is equal to 5 minus 2 times 3 is 6. And y is equal to 5 minus 6, giving you negative 1. So you have this as negative 1. Then you circle it. So this will tell us that the circled digits are the ones we've solved for. So when they are marking, we are going to get something from this. And it is very important for you to show working when it comes here. Let's continue. Now, using a scale of 2 centimeters to 1 unit, always we have to consider the given scale. So using a scale of 2 centimeters to 1 unit on the x-axis and 2 centimeters to 2 units on the y-axis, draw on a graph sheet 2 perpendicular axes, OX and OY, for negative 5 less or equal to x less or equal to 5. So this means on the x-axis, we should see these values. And also on the y-axis, we should see these values. Okay, so now, let's move to the graph now. On the x-axis, we want to see negative 5 to positive 5. And on the y-axis, we want to see negative 12 to positive 12. So let's locate the origin, which is this very one. So we are going to draw our Cartesian plane. That is the x and y axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we draw our x-axis nicely with the help of a rule. Sorry, the y-axis. Then we also draw for the x-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We also draw for the x-axis. Just get the middle line. Then you draw your x. This is your y-axis. And this is your x-axis. So what is the question saying? It says on the x-axis, it should be 1 unit. So you are going to label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But looking at the given scale, we have the intersection as origin. Then we label from negative 5 to 5. Now on the x-axis, all the numbers here are positive. All the numbers here are, all the numbers here are negative, and all the numbers here are positive. So we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5. Then here we have negative 1, we have negative 2, we have negative 3, negative 4, negative 5 on our x-axis. We apologize for the way we are going is because of storage media. So we also do same for the x-axis, y-axis, so that our work will be nice. So we have also on the y-axis, it says on the y-axis 2 centimeters to 2 units. So the difference is what? 2. Now on the y-axis, this side are negative. So we have negative 2, negative 4, negative 6, negative 8, negative 10, and negative 12. Then we have 2, we have 4, we have 6, we have 8, we have 10, and finally we have 12. Let's continue. Now when you come to C, so we have, so A, copy and complete. We've completed it. B, using a scale. So you just write refer to graph. Now we go to C. Using the table, that is the table you solved here, plot all the points. So we are going to take our time to plot all the points. So negative 3 for x. Okay, so we apologize due to technical challenges. We have to plot the point without your knowledge, but let's quickly summarize. So to plot the point, you have the x-axis and the y, the x values and the y values. So you have negative 3, 11. So on the x-axis, locate negative 3. You have it here. So you put your hand on it. Then y-axis, locate 11. So you have 11 at the positive side. Now here you have 10 and you have 12. So between 10 and 12, there is 11. That is the thin line. Then you just trace where the two meet. Then you plot the point. So you do for the rest. Then this line is the relation that we've plotted, which is y is equal to 5 minus 2x. Then after plotting, it says that draw a straight line through all the points. So we've drawn the straight line. We come to D. Using the graph. So now we are coming to use the graph. Find the value of y when x is negative 2.6. So with this one, on the x-axis, locate negative 2.6. Now when it is negative, then you notice that it's going to be on this side. So this is negative 2. How will I get 0.6? So you have 2, this is 2.5, then the 0.6 will be on this line. So now this is 2.6 on the x-axis. Now you are going to trace this line to this point, to the line you've drawn. So let's trace it to the line we've drawn. So we are going to trace it this way. You move to this side. Now when you trace from the x-axis to the line that you've drawn, then you trace from the line to the y-axis so that you find the value of y. It says find the value of y when x is 2.6. So 2.6, you trace it there. Then for the y value, you trace from the line to the y-axis. And what do you have here? You have 10.2. Because the interval is 2, we have y is... Okay, so let's continue. So that is what we have for y as 10.2. Then we do same for I. This time you have find the value of x when y is negative 2.8. So go to the y-axis. You have negative 2.8. Which side is the negative? We have this side as the negative. So this is negative 2. You have negative 2.2. You have negative 2.4. You have negative 2.6. You have negative 2.8. So this is the negative 2.8 on the y-axis. Now trace this to this line and you trace it to the x. So let's trace it to the line. We are going to move from like this. Then you trace it to the line. So when you trace it to the line, then you trace it to the x-axis. Now the reason why this is 2.8 is because now you notice that the y-axis, you have the unit, the scale as 2 centimeters to 2 units. So this is 2, 2.2, 2.4, 2.6, 2.8, and 3. So you are going to trace it from this side to the x-axis. So what do we have here? Now on the x-axis, you have 1 unit. So this is 3, 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you have x to be equal to 3.9 as your answer. Then the last one, I. You have to find a gradient, which is m. Gradient is y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. So you are going to choose any 2 points of your choice. So let's say I want to choose 0, 5 and negative 4, 4, negative 3. So this 0, 5 and 4, negative 3, trace them here for us to see that you are using your graph. So 0, 5, where is 0, 5? This is 0, 5. 0, 5, you have it here. Then you have 4 negative 3. Where is 4 negative 3? This is 4 negative 3. You have it here. Or you can choose a different one. Let's choose a different one so that it's going to be clear for us. Okay, I'm going to choose 2, 1 and let's say negative 3, 11. So negative 3, 11 and 2, 1. I'm choosing this one now. Okay, so this negative 3, 11, this is negative 3, 11. And 2, 1. 2, 1. This is it. So you are just going to trace the point for us to see that you picked it from the graph. So you rule from the first point that you've chosen, from this point, then we trace it to this side, showing that we are picking our point from the graph. So this shows the gradient. So you have this and this as your x, y, this and this x, y. So to differentiate between the two, we say let the first one be x1, y1, x2, y2. Then you just substitute to find your gradient. So let's see, you have y2 as 1 minus y1 as 11 all over. Then you have x2 as 2 minus x1 as negative 3. So this is equal to this plus this is going to give you this minus this is going to give you negative 10 all over. This meat is going to be positive, giving you 5. Divide by 5. 5 into itself 1, 5 into itself 2, 5 into 10, 2. So you have your answer as negative 2. So m is equal to negative 2. So the gradient of the line is equal to negative 2. And this was what we were expecting students to do to get their full scores. We apologize, ladies and gentlemen, for how the video has been done. It's because we are having challenges with our tech, the phones or the things we are using for the recording. We will work hard on it so that we are not going to encounter this again. Thank you very much. God bless you. Stay tuned. Next week, when we meet next time, we are going to look or learn a new topic based on the new curriculum and the old curriculum. My name is Christian. Don't forget to hit the subscription button. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.